channel. This is Bayonara, and thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here and you enjoy conversations about self-improvement and you enjoy doing self-care from the comfort of your own home, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and don't forget to ring the notification bell so that you don't miss out on new content. So today I'm doing a get ready with me, and I'm going to be showing you guys my kind of like everyday makeup look, everyday makeup routine. I'm gonna be honest, it's a little bit long, but just bear with me because afterwards the face looks flawless. I've been using Jackie Aina's like methods of putting on concealer and putting on my foundation. I am a little bit late, not even a little bit, a lot bit late to like the Jackie Aina train, but I will say that I really love the results compared to how I used to do my makeup to how I do my makeup now. It is just like so much more of an elevated look, an elevated routine. So I'm super excited to be showing you guys my day-to-day makeup look. So stay tuned. Okay, so first to get started, I start with my Fenty Skin Hydra Visor. It's important that you moisturize before you do your makeup. I moisturize before I even put on my primer. That's the way that Jackie said to do it, so that's what I do. Okay, so yeah, moisturize. And I just let my moisturizer sit for a second after because I don't want to just like put my makeup on right over the top of this. Like it's not even all the way completely set into my skin yet. This is obviously for the edges, don't mind that. Alright, so after I moisturize, I use my primer. I use Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. It's for perfecting, and it makes my skin like my pores kind of like non-existent. It makes my skin like super smooth just to get started with, so I love that. And really with this, you don't need a lot. So I use the NYX, and as you can see, these two gone. And this last one, pretty much gone. I like literally, I don't even touch these. They could have just gave me these three and I would have been happy. It's just a color correcting palette. So I'm gonna use this orange one down here as a color corrector. And like I said, it is pretty much gone. I'm like a little bit, not very much, but I'm like a little bit darker just around my mouth area. So I like to use the orange. And just go in. And this is gonna look a little crazy for a minute, but just trust the process. So yeah, I just go, and I have laugh lines too, so I cover those. It's an angled liner brush, and this probably isn't the brush that you normally would use for this, but this is the brush that I use for this. I'm like, this is what I do. You don't necessarily have to do the exact same thing as me. Obviously, everybody's different. Everybody has a different way that they like their makeup to look. And our complexions and our skin tones are different and all that. So use whatever color is right for you. This is a cream contour, by the way. And I really love the texture of it. It just glides on so smooth. And I don't really like necessarily place this anywhere specific. It doesn't have to be like super neat. I literally just go all around my mouth. Okay, so now that I'm on orange, Beauty Blender. Now, I know that most people have graduated from Beauty Blenders. However, I have not. I don't blend this all the way down. I just, You'll see. Just enough, like, you know, just enough. So it's still there. Okay, now we do foundation. I go in with the YSL All Hours Foundation. I literally just squirt it right onto my face. That's easier for me, personally. And then I use this Sephora 70 brush. It's like this big foundation brush. And then just kind of like pat my foundation into my skin. You don't want to like swipe because you're gonna swipe your product off. So I just like push, you know, and just move it all around my face. And like, look at that coverage. Oh my gosh. I put foundation on my eyelids. Might not be the right thing to do, but that's what I do. And like, see how that orange kind of just disappears with the foundation on it? Like, orange, not orange. Orange, not orange. Like, a difference. And then it just gives me a whole even tone all over my face, as opposed to this part still being a little bit darker when I still have on my foundation already. So yeah, just want to make sure. And with this YSL, I really don't have to use like a lot. The coverage is so amazing that I feel like maybe like 4 pumps at most, and I'm pretty good for my entire face. I've had to use like a lot of product with some other foundations, so I really like this one. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, concealer for the under eyes. I use 3 different concealers. That's what Jackie told me to do, so that's what I do. The first one I use is in this palette. It is a True Complexion cream contour palette. I only use 2 of the 3 shades that are provided, and as you can see, they are very used. So I use this Sculpt one, and it is just a little bit lighter than my skin tone. So I'm gonna show you guys. So I just go right at the corner of my eye where that starts, and then just bring it out right under your eyes, okay? Before, I used to do the triangle thing. That's pretty much the only one I've tried, because I know people were going here and doing all this. And like I said, before I used to do the triangle thing, and before I only used to use 1 concealer. What? Right under the eye. And just fill that in. You don't have to get super close under there or anything like that. So yeah, as you can see, this foundation, concealer, not too much lighter. So you want to use one that's like kind of close to your skin tone for this. Okay. Boom. So now we let that dry down a little bit. I fan it because that makes it go faster. But you just want to wait and let your concealers dry down after you apply. Okay, so now that that's dried down a little bit, I take my beauty blender and start from this side of my eye and work in. And I start lower than, like, I don't start up here, I start down here. So just from the outside and work in. And like right here, see, even that fast, it just blended in because I let it dry down. And you get more coverage. I didn't know this, but you get more coverage from your concealer when you let it dry down. Here, I just pat it slowly because I don't want my concealer like all up in here, you know? I want it to stay where I put it. Sorry, there's like a hair on my lip, but yeah, I want it to stay where I put it. So just make sure that you're pretty controlled when you're blending this in. And make sure you do not swipe, you are patting. So then I'm just gonna do the other side. I kind of put it like over the top of my eye because I'm gonna put on eyeshadow over the top of this anyway. So it kind of doesn't matter if concealer like goes all on my eyelid. Like, I'm okay with that. So after that, I use my highlight shade. This is like your normal shade that you use, your normal highlight that you use. LA Girl Pro Conceal. I use it in the shade Fawn. Do the same thing, put it right in the corner right here and then bring it down. And then I bring this shade down a little bit further than I did the other one. And you gotta be careful when you squeeze this because a lot of products could come out and you don't want a bunch of product right here. Like, that's just not good. So I kind of squeeze it and put it there and then spread it out. And then if I need more, squeeze it more. So yeah, do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna just go like that so I don't have a bunch of product in the corner of my eye. And then just bring it out. This one I highlight like my chin, my nose, and my forehead. Then the bridge is my nose. And forehead. Okay, so again, we are going to let this dry for a little bit. I use the fatter part of my beauty blender for my chin area and my forehead. And then I do the same thing that I did before with the concealer. So we're gonna do that. And again, I don't just pat with this because I want it to stay right here. So I just make sure I kind of like just push it in. Then we're just gonna go down the bridge of our nose. And again, I'm super controlled with this just because I want my product to stay in the middle of my nose. You know, I don't want my product moving all over the place. So I try to stay super precise. So this is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is in the shade Truffle. So the next thing that you do is take like a orangey concealer to put on the top of both of those other concealers that you put on. So Truffle is like orange. You'll see. It's a really nice shade. You know, it has like an orange undertone. So it just brings like a warmth and like a fire kind of back into your face. In between this drying, eye contour. Again, I'm using this True Complexion Cream Contour Palette, the darkest shade, the contour. And for this, you're gonna wanna put it right under your cheekbone. Just like that. And then don't forget the hairline. So, gonna move that back a little bit. And then go around. Same thing, right under your cheekbone. And then I do like little, like that, so that this comes down. Not into my highlight, but just around it. So still, we're letting the concealer dry down, and I blend my contour in. Mind you, I haven't contoured my nose yet. So I take this brush, a small contour brush from Sephora. You're supposed to blend upwards first so that it goes into your concealer, not all the way up here, but just in, so that there's like a fine line of like gradient. So and then I kind of blend down as well. Not too much, but just so that it's like, because I don't want to take this right here all like up here. I would rather that go more down. Okay, then blend this back into the hairline. Lift this up a little bit. Continue to blend up. And as you can see with this brush, I'm kind of just like patting. Like, I'm not like swiping or anything. I'm literally just patting it in and moving it to where I want it to go. So this, we're gonna bring it kind of down. I personally like to blend this part a little bit afterwards. And I take that up and like around the concealer, like that. then back. So I'm just blending. Again, we're gonna go around and down. Okay, so I'm just making sure everything else is blended in pretty well. Okay, so now I take the booty of my blender again. Just dab that in. So same palette, same shade. Now I'm just gonna go into my nose. So I take this, that little angled liner brush. I use this for all my concealer. I just think it just works better for me. So down like that. I personally just take it up there because I just like how it makes my face look right there when I do that. Okay. Then I just do a little. Okay, so mind you, I didn't blend that. Blend the highlight all the way in on my nose. So now, brush, and I kind of squeeze it, to be honest, and then because I don't have one of those brushes, so I squeeze it and then I just go like this and like rub it in, basically. And then you want to blend it down as well, not into your concealer, but just down your nose, down the side of your nose. And then up to make sure that that is all blended in as well. So just so you guys can see, I'm going to show you the side that is contoured, and then it's obviously not. So yeah, that's what that ends up looking like. Okay, and then just make sure that that part is all blended in. Then I take my foundation brush And again, this does not have any extra product on it, but I just like to dab it in here, right in between where I put the contour and where I highlighted, so that there's no line of demarcation there. It's all just one gradient shade. Dab, dab, dab. Literally dabbing it, like, and then I put a little on my forehead as well. Okay, you need 2 powders. The first one I'm going to be using is the Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Chai. So I take my powder brush now, and then I don't use too much product because it will undo all of the work that you just did, those 3 concealers, the color correcting, all that. And also, like I said before, I used to use banana powder. Now I use a shade that is the same shade as my foundation, or like my skin pretty much. I start here in the corner, like by my nose area, because I get like greasy or oily here first. So I just want to make sure that I set that first and then set everything else. Okay, let me just show you guys really quick. This half has no powder. This half, such a difference. Okay, so now our second powder, I'm using the Morphe powder Bacon Set in Translucent Rich. So again, you don't, especially with this part, you don't want to use too much product. So literally, this is how much I have on my sponge. And that even might be a little bit too much, but we're gonna see. So I put a little bit by my nose, and you don't want to put too much because the more powder that you put on is the more that you're gonna have to remove. So with this, I literally just put that and then dab it in. We're going to do the eyes. I'm just gonna do something very simple, just like I said, every day, or daytime look. I'm not gonna do too much. I use the Milani eyeshadow primer. So I go ahead and take the eyeshadow primer. I kind of used a lot. I'm using the Morphe 35S Sweet Oasis palette. I really like this palette. It's really pretty. It has like sunset colors. This is what it looks like. My kind of go-to shade, to be honest, is this nude right here. It's called Sandbar. I feel like it's just a really good base color. I'm gonna just do like a soft gold. That is the way to go. So now I'm gonna do a simple wing. I probably can't do this on camera, so I'm going to do it and then show you guys. I'm using the NYX That's the Point eyeliner, It's a liquid eyeliner and it has like a precision tip, so it's pretty cool because it kind of helps you get your wings a little bit better. Okay, we have wings. And it's time for lashes. Okay, now that the lashes are secure, Fenty highlight and trophy wife, of course, and fan brush from Sephora. Take that. I don't use too much. I first go like this. See that line there? And then I bring it down. And this highlight is super pigmented, so you really don't need much. I take my beauty blender and I like to blend down my highlight a little bit, just so that it doesn't look like I just sat highlight on the top of my face. Yeah, and then just a little boop boop on my nose. Setting spray, I use the Kat Von D Lock It In. It's a setting mist. So I'm just gonna put on some mascara and I will come back and show you guys the final face. Okay, this is what my face looks like. Thank you so much for getting ready with me today and spending some quality time with me. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. And if you did, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up so that I know to do more videos like this in the future. And don't forget to leave me some comments down below. Let me know how you like this face, how it came out, or even let me know if there's some other products that I could try or other makeup techniques that I could try. I would love to try them out. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so that we can be here and do self-care together again. So as always, continue to take care of yourselves, and I'll see you here next time.